miss acting. I did a couple of Zoom things after all this started, but I couldn't keep going with it. I can't take this thing that is so much about movement for me and see it crushed into one more Zoom call with 12 people's faces. No matter how good it is, it's wrong. People always ask, what was your favorite role as an actor? And I lie and say Hedda Gabler, but the truth is, I like being an elf at Christmas. I do some holiday work up north at a bunch of towns that still have mall Santas. I'm at the head of the line, and I get to interact with tired parents and scared little kids, and I have 2 seconds to take them in and warm them up for Santa. So if they look like you can play around with them, maybe I'll say, between you and me, the man's on a warpath. Hope you've been good. And if you've picked right, then they like that. But if the kid looks really stressed out, I'll be real chill, like, oh, I recognize you. Santa's got your thing picked out. And then I go through the rules, and I'm focused on the kid directly, but not really making eye contact, just kind of to the side. That usually works. Usually. Yeah, most of the money that I make for acting comes through in December, but not this December. So instead, I'm trying out Tinder, basically going for virtual dates instead of acting. Seeing some interesting guys from the comfort of my own home. I met with a guy who was actually working on one of the vaccine trials, which was really exciting. But then when I asked him when they were going to vaccinate actors, he just laughed and then he ghosted me. After that came the office manager, who was really into telling me in great detail how his work routine had changed during the pandemic. I think I got barely 2 words out on that one. But I was mad when he ghosted me anyway, because with him, I know it was on purpose, because he made this big deal telling me how he had trained himself to answer all text messages within 2 hours, when before the pandemic, he only did 4. But then I went out with this musician, and he talked about the difference between soul and R&B for like 40 minutes. Now, ordinary me would be annoyed at that, but pandemic me took that as an invitation to go deep on my obsession with female serial killers. And he listened. It turned out to be one of the best nights I'd had in a long time. So, it got me thinking, maybe I need to go out with a performer, someone who kind of knows what we've all been missing this year. And I found an actor, someone who does community theater out in Chanhassen on the regular. But he just talked about how he used the opportunity to get into podcasting. That disappointed me. I don't know why. He said he was interested in having me on his show and that he would text me the deets, but he did not. And that brings me to yesterday. I was going through my matches and I found this.
22-year-old male traveling across the American continent. Not looking for anything serious, just a partner in crime for some good human night out. For the right woman, I'll jump through any hoop you want. No vegetarians. Sorry. Incompatible diet.
Unbelievable. My first thought was, that's great. A dolphin can't get the coronavirus, so I won't have to social distance. And then I thought, wait, am I sure? And a quick Google search confirmed that no, dolphins cannot get this coronavirus. And then I thought, wait, what? Sure, I love dolphins. Who doesn't? Sure, as a kid, I went through a phase where I imagined sneaking out of my window to anamorph into a dolphin and frolic in the moonlight. Who doesn't do that? I figured it was a prank, but I emailed him anyway. Hello?
Hey!
Hi.
Sorry to call out of nowhere. My phone's almost out of juice. I'm down by Nicolette and France, and I was just wondering if you could meet me there?
That seems doable. What time?
Whenever. I'm there right now.
It'll take me a while to get down there.
Oh, it's okay. I've got my book.
Aren't you cold?
Don't worry about me. My blubber is designed for way colder temperatures than this.
Oh, right.
But it's nice of you to ask. People have been really thoughtful.
So you do this a lot?
Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
I'm gonna run out of battery power any minute, so I'll just go into that gas station. If you don't see me on the street corner, that's where I'll be. What's your name again?
Teagan.
And I'm.
Okay. See you soon.
Great.
Stay warm. I got on my jacket and took the bus down. There he was. Oh, hey.
Hi, are you Teagan?
Yes.
Nice to meet you, Teagan. I'm Aria! But humans can't pronounce that, so I just have everyone call me Ari.
Ari. Hey.
Yeah, thanks for meeting with me. Do you want to sit? Hey, uh, sorry, I never really know how to start these things.
You're a dolphin, but you're on land.
Right. Yeah, let me explain that. So, the fact is, I always wanted to see what the human world was like. And I thought, with everyone sheltering over this whole COVID thing, it's a little less crowded up here. And I just thought, yeah, you know what? It's time for me to venture outside my comfort zone. So I hopped up on land. And dolphins can live above ground 2 to 3 days at a time. So I got a while.
And how are you traveling?
All thanks to my powerful flippers. I can make a good clip of about 50 miles an hour. And because only half my brain's asleep at any given time, I can move 24 hours a day. I should make it to California by Wednesday.
So you're walking across the country? That's incredible.
Yeah, YOLO.
But I'm surprised you're up here in the Midwest. Don't you need to be by the ocean?
Are you kidding? There's water everywhere. There's like 10,000 lakes.
But they're not salt water. Don't you need salt water?
What? Sure they are.
They're not.
I'm pretty sure there are, Teagan.
No, they're not. They're
Listen. I just took a dip in the bidet Makaska, and everything was fine. Shows what you know. No. I'm just playing with you. It's fine. Hey, are you getting hungry?
I am.
I guess you don't have a car. But that's cool. We can just walk. There's a lot of great restaurants where they're not open, but they have this thing called doorstep delivery. So we get what we want, and then we just hang out. Sound good?
I guess that's the only thing we can do.
Right, and remember, this is your city, so I'm completely in your hands. Oh, but don't worry about the price. I got you. The exchange rate's really great for me right now.
Wow. Pressure. Seafood?
I can get seafood anytime. I want to eat what you eat.
So I put in a pickup order at the closest Pizza Luce where I've run the takeout carpet bare, and I start walking around and introducing him to stuff around the area. I felt a little put on the spot, but it was clear that this guy was a cheap date, so let's go to it. Luckily for me, he seemed impressed by literally anything. My mother and I used to go shopping in this area a lot. When I was younger, she convinced me that this was the cool part of town. But then I realized for some reason that she thought this was uptown, but it's nowhere near uptown. Uptown's like that way. Oh,
What?
Tolman's. Another small business bites the dust. I bought so many props and costume pieces at this store. Bye. Do dolphins have art?
That depends. What's art?
Oh, it's like a discipline or a skill that helps you. Well, look, see the painting in the store, the one they left on the wall?
I can't see it. My eyesight isn't great on land.
Oh.
I'm actually getting way more on my echolocation, though, but you know how it goes. Doesn't work through glass.
So you're emitting sound waves right now?
Yeah, but, not at frequencies humans can hear, because, I wasn't raised in a barn.
All right. Look at those statues up there commemorating whoever. Think about all the time they took to make, all the skill. That's art. Isn't that impressive?
I guess, but who would go to all that trouble? Not me. It just takes you out of the moment.
Yeah, there's a lot of preparation, but even if it takes you out of one moment, it puts you into a future moment even more when you're performing.
I mean, I guess, but still sounds pretty complicated to me.
Just in time. So, what's it like in the dolphin world?
It sucks. I'm kidding. I love being a dolphin, but to be honest, sometimes you gotta get away. Every other dolphin's a loud, aggressive bully.
Well, I'm against all bullying.
I guess it's not that bad. You know dolphins like to play, but sometimes I feel like we play too much. And when we do that, we become jerks. And no one seems to notice that but me. So that's part of why I came up here. At least humans know how to be a little tolerant.
Really? That's what you think? I feel like tolerance is at an all-time low.
This sounds like this was the worst year for you guys.
It was a hard one. But you know what? It was a year when people dug down deep and found parts of themselves they didn't know were there. I mean, on my phone right now is a selfie I took inside the charred remains of the 3rd precinct. If you'd asked me at the beginning of the year whether I would have a selfie inside a destroyed police station, I would have said probably not. But here we are.
You've had it rough.
Well, a lot of people have had it way more rough. I'm lucky. I'm not especially vulnerable. I'm in a good apartment. Everyone there wears a mask and takes the virus seriously. My parents wear masks and take the virus seriously. My grandpa's a little...
Sounds like you need an Ari break.
Okay, Ari. I will take an Ari break.
Solid.
So she finally confessed to 31 counts of murder, right in plain sight, right in the hospital, and people never suspected. She got life imprisonment.
Wow. I love how humans don't just let things drop and pursue the next fish. You stop and figure things out. 31 victims. Awesome.
Well, if you think that's impressive, Janine Jones was even worse.
I always forget humans have to worry about nuclear weapons. Glad not in your shoes.
Sometimes we forget we even have them. And then a meltdown happens, and we're like, oh yeah, that. I still say it was a miracle we got through Trump without a nuclear exchange.
So then I said, hey, you want to go? Oh, I'm sorry. It's like an insult. It's like the name of one of our mad gods.
Mad gods? Do you want to go back to my place?
My whole life, I've never wanted anything else.
The best thing was, I didn't have to feel self-conscious. Who cares about the pile of clean laundry on the floor? That's where all humans keep their clean laundry. And who cares about the recycling stacked up to person height? It's just a recycling snowman. And the collage of female serial killers I have hanging in my kitchen? Government issue.
This whole pad is yours?
Yep, I stopped doing the roommate thing a couple years ago.
You must be rich. You must be like Elon Musk type of rich.
Want some water?
Oh my god, yes, please.
Do you want me to make you up some salt water?
I told you, it's fine.
Even if you have a few days left, I'm sure you could,
Quit bugging me about it. God.
I thought maybe we could watch a movie.
What's a movie?
Really? All right, I get to make a real contribution to Ari's life. How often do you get to choose someone's first movie? Granted, I didn't really think we would be doing a lot of watching, but still. And my mind goes through my usual picks, Rent, Fargo, North Country, but oh no, if I'm picking this guy's first movie, it's going to be a movie made by a woman.
Well, I guess I like birds. And I love ladies, so yeah, bring it up.
This is by Greta Gerwig. It's still surprising to me how fast she went from being just an it girl to somebody who it feels like a snub if you don't nominate her for an Oscar every single time. That's going to happen to me soon. Just jump right from Elf to Guthrie Mainstage 2022.
Right. So this is more art? I guess I still don't understand.
Well, it's people memorizing a story and then acting it out. I don't know. It just makes you feel like transcendent.
No. Frolicking in the moonlight off the coast of New Zealand in the wintertime, that's transcendent. This just feels so dead. It's like these actors pretend to be other people and then they do other things nobody would ever do out in real life, and then you just have them do that over and over again the same way, the same exact way. What's the point of that?
Because they wouldn't do them in real life. It's not real life, but it feels like real life.
So it's not real.
It's not real, but they wrote a script and some actors learned it and they made recordings of people performing it and they strung them together and it feels real. You're pissing me off right now.
Well, the screen's really blurry and the echolocation isn't giving me any help, and you said this is skill. Like, how hard is it to do acting when you can start and stop anytime you want? Anyone can remember, what, like 5 words at a time or whatever?
It's a lot more than 5 words at a time.
There's no way it's more than 5 words at a time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I bet she's the breadwinner, too. I mean, a room with a pipe in the middle of it. Not exactly the big bucks on Broadway. She probably came with money, but while she's finishing up her thesis, she's working some nice investment job or day trading and making a fortune. Am I right? I'm right. But hey, you're an artist. She loves that about you. She just knows you're going to be a great big success someday. Plus, she really appreciates you for your sensitivity. Maybe you're the first guy she's met who's got any. She reads a lot, same books you do, likes the opera and the ballet and shit. Like you. At night you talk about what's going on in French philosophy and what's new in the New York Review of Books, and then you have some nice, quiet sex. And nice, quiet sex is fine, though there's this rumbling at the back of your head. This voice that wants something else. I don't know what that is, but rumble, rumble, rumble. Anyway, hey, you're happy, you like her. I mean, you really, really like her, and you two are going to have a nice life talking about French philosophy and what's new in the New York Review of Books, and maybe have a couple of kids who can do that when they grow up, and then you'll die.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you just make that up?
Nope. That's my best audition piece. I got into 1,000,000 Midsummers with that.
That's incredible. I bet you can't do it again.
So I did it again 3 more times. The second time, I did it like an ingenue, which I sometimes do if I'm getting like a musical theater vibe off of the director. The third time, I did it nervy and cold, which I sometimes do just for contrast. The last time, I got out a chair and acted like it was my scene partner. I looked over at Ari's face, and he was intrigued. And that's all I'm going to tell you about that night. Ari went back on his journey the next morning. We had some early brunch. He asked me to follow the last 3 days of his journey on Instagram. I did. And then it was back to the new normal. More social distancing, more masks, more badly designed vaccination appointment websites, more waiting. I think it might be like September. Like, I hope the Fringe is the last thing that's virtual before reopening. Do you think that's realistic? I think that's realistic.